Let's talk about the quiet storm brewing. Not behind palace gates, but California ones. Prince Harry may have swapped castles for Hollywood mansions, yet the tension hasn't gone anywhere. This time, it's not about Netflix deals or red carpet appearances. It's about something far more personal, the kids. Meghan Markle, in her usual brand-conscious fashion, posted a polished photo from the set of her Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. At first glance, it seemed harmless. A mom including her child in a moment. But front and center was Archie, wearing a shirt with the name of his soccer school boldly displayed. That tiny detail raised eyebrows. Harry has spent years demanding privacy for his children, going as far as suing tabloids and criticizing the media for intrusion. Yet this post revealed a specific, traceable clue about Archie's life. Was it careless oversight or calculated PR? Either way, it undermines their entire narrative, and it leaves many wondering, are they really protecting their kids, or just protecting their brand? Harry has spent years making one priority clear above all else, keeping his children safe and out of the relentless spotlight. He knows firsthand the toll that cameras, tabloids, and constant exposure can take on a child's life, and he's vowed to give Archie and Lilibet the privacy he never had. So imagine his shock when Meghan posts a glossy photo from the set of With Love, Meghan that not only shows Archie but reveals his school's name printed boldly on his shirt. That's not a harmless slip. It's practically a roadmap. Then things escalated. The school itself reposted the photo, which immediately set off alarms. Why would a school make such a public move unless there was some kind of understanding, or even a partnership behind the scenes? The theory making waves is explosive. Meghan may have turned her son into an unspoken brand ambassador. The assumption? She was paid. The reaction? Outrage. Whispers suggest Harry had no clue, and if true, this isn't a casual mistake. It's a fracture of trust at the deepest level. Family. Harry has long insisted his children be shielded from the relentless glare of publicity. It's the one promise he's tried to keep above all else. So when Meghan shared that photo showing Archie in his school, it wasn't just a harmless oversight. It was a fracture in their shared approach to parenting. A fracture that now appears to be widening. Yes, couples disagree on parenting styles. That's natural. But this isn't a private debate behind closed doors. Meghan's move was public, calculated, and inevitably read as a marketing stunt. Intentional or not, it signaled priorities. Visibility and brand promotion over Harry's clear boundary. And Harry? Sources close to him suggest this isn't the first time he's been blindsided. Friends say he vents in private, confessing that these public overshares make him feel diminished, even stripped of authority. Consider that. A soldier, a prince, a man forged in the harshest media storms, left feeling powerless in the role that matters most, safeguarding his children. That frustration may cut deeper than any scandal the headlines can create. Harry is said to feel emasculated and increasingly guilty because Meghan keeps turning what should be private moments into public entertainment. A small example recently hit hard. Meghan, in her show, casually revealed that Harry was the one who said, "I love you" first. For most couples, that's charming. But for Harry, it cut deep. When your every move is dissected, when your masculinity is already under the microscope, being portrayed as the one who fell first feels like another chip at his pride. But it's not about one slip, one post, or one line in a documentary. It's about accumulation. Piece by piece, moment by moment, Harry feels boundaries dissolving. His role as a protective father, his sense of authority, even his identity as a man are being worn down, publicly, without his consent. What once seemed like harmless anecdotes now feel like betrayals. And that's why the emotional divide between Harry and Meghan isn't just gossip anymore. With every headline and every reveal, the fracture in their marriage grows harder to ignore. What's unfolding between Harry and Meghan isn't some explosive breakup or shouting match. It's subtler, slower, and in many ways more dangerous. It looks like the kind of quiet unraveling that happens when unspoken boundaries keep getting crossed and the deeper issues never get confronted. Remember, Harry sacrificed nearly everything for Meghan. His royal title, his military roles, his family home, his entire life in the UK, all traded in for what was promised as freedom. Yet now, settled in California, it's clear their ideas of freedom aren't the same. For Harry, freedom meant peace, privacy, and time with his children. For Meghan, it means visibility, creativity, and building her brand. And when those two visions collide, someone inevitably feels left behind. According to those close to the couple, Harry seems increasingly withdrawn. He's quieter, less enthusiastic, and noticeably detached from Meghan's projects. That emotional distance is beginning to show, and it's fueling speculation that cracks in their marriage are widening. There's growing talk that Harry has been distancing himself, skipping meetings, keeping quiet during events, and spending increasing amounts of time with friends outside their usual circle. It's as if he's searching for something authentic, a place that feels real and separate from the constant spotlight. Meghan, in contrast, appears unstoppable. Every photo, public appearance, and collaboration sends a clear signal: she's building. Whether it's her brand, her identity apart from the royal framework, or simply the life she's always envisioned, she's charging ahead with remarkable speed. But the issue is, she doesn't seem to be slowing down to make sure Harry is keeping pace. From her perspective, she may believe the hustle benefits them both, their family and their future. Yet the optics paint another picture entirely. To many, it resembles a solo race, all while wearing a team jersey, and the public has noticed. What was once framed as a love story that defied the odds is increasingly being called out as one-sided, with Harry fading further into the shadows. Harry, once seen as bold and cheeky, is now described as passive, weary, and adrift. Meghan, meanwhile, appears to be thriving, though critics call her rise calculated. Whether fair or not, perception matters, and it's beginning to influence how their relationship is viewed. The most concerning issue, however, isn't them. It's the children. Archie and Lilibet aren't at fault, yet they increasingly appear caught in a dynamic neither parent fully acknowledges. When Archie's shirt doubled as a quiet advertisement or when Lilibet's photos coincided with media pushes, questions arose. Was it clever branding or crossing a line? The debate isn't just about marketing ethics, it's about family stability. Are the children being used as shields, assets, or distractions? And more importantly, what happens when they're old enough to understand their childhood was shaped by headlines and strategy? What haunts Harry most is that he's lived through this before. He knows the heavy cost of exposure, the damage it leaves, and the reality that once the door to publicity opens, it never really shuts again. That fear is what drives his anger. Headlines may reduce it to annoyance, but this runs much deeper. He isn't just reacting to Meghan's individual choices, he's reacting to a life he feels is sliding out of his control. He sacrificed nearly everything to create a future centered on safety and privacy, yet now that vision drifts further from the values he thought he was protecting. And when control slips, resentment begins to grow. Suddenly, even the smallest things, an Instagram caption, a passing comment in a Netflix interview, can land like betrayal. It isn't the single moment that wounds him most, but the pattern, the steady realization that he's no longer the author of his own story. Meghan isn't blind to Harry's change. She feels it in the silence where their laughter once lived, in the clipped replies that say more than words, and in the way his eyes shift away after tense exchanges. But slowing down isn't an option. The contracts are inked, the cameras are rolling, and her brand is already in motion. For Meghan, hesitation equals weakness. A pause risks momentum, reputation, even the future she's building. That's where the real tension lies. Meghan thrives in pressure, rising every time someone doubts her. Determination turned her from Hollywood outsider into a global figure. But the same drive that fuels her also suffocates Harry. For him, the spotlight isn't opportunity, it's a cage he's fought his whole life to escape. Now their marriage feels like two survival missions headed in opposite directions. Hers toward visibility, his toward privacy. And every step forward pulls them further apart. Behind closed doors, their conversations are reportedly tense. Not the explosive rows tabloids love to imagine, but the colder, quieter exchanges where silence speaks louder than words. Harry, again and again, raises concerns about their children, about exposure, about private moments becoming public fodder. Meghan, in turn, insists it's harmless, even necessary, an investment in their future. Yet every time, the distance between them grows a little wider, like an invisible crack slowly spreading. What complicates matters further is that Meghan's choices are no longer being met with unconditional support. Even some of her allies have quietly questioned the judgment behind sharing certain details. The moment she revealed on her show that Harry said, "I love you," first wasn't shocking. It was personal. To outsiders, it looked like another intimate fragment tossed into the content machine. That repetition, the drip feed of private moments into public view, is what's beginning to wear thin. And from royal circles watching quietly, there's unease. Some hope Harry finds his way back. Others have already let go, resigned to the unraveling. Even those who criticize Harry most harshly admit he isn't thriving. He's surviving, going through the motions, smiling for cameras, nodding during interviews, but behind the polished exterior, there's something hollow. It doesn't take a royal commentator to see it. At the same time, the public conversation has shifted. Social. Media once embraced Harry and Meghan as modern rebels tearing down outdated royal rules. Now the tone feels different, even uneasy. People aren't talking about their love story anymore. They're asking a simpler question. Does Harry look happy? Commentators note how Meghan's projects consistently place her front and center, while Harry appears to linger in the shadows. The children, once shielded so fiercely from publicity, are now slowly being woven into the brand, one appearance at a time. The danger, though, isn't just what outsiders see. It's what Harry is beginning to feel himself. Trust eroding, boundaries blurred, and the creeping realization that maybe he sacrificed more than he truly understood, trading stability for a version of freedom that feels increasingly empty. The breaking point won't explode in drama. It will arrive quietly, when Harry finally speaks his truth, or when Meghan can't ignore his silence. In that moment, their unraveling will echo, louder than words,